Hi guys, today what we're going to do is look at masking. Okay, so masking is a very good technique where you can create something like the spotlight effect, where it covers the image up that you've got, or the text that you've got in the background, and it only shows a bit at a time. So I'll give you an example of what we're going to be looking at. So here's one like created earlier. It's an example of masking. That's it. Okay. So this, as you can see, is creating the spotlight effect where you got the yellow spotlight and then it shows what's behind that spotlight. Okay, so first things first, what we're going to do is create a new ActionScript free file. Okay, we're going to change the size of settings, so we can change the size to let's change it to 800 by 600. Okay, so I'll fit that in the box. Okay, now that we've done that, what we're going to do is going to create two layers. Sorry, I'm going to call the first one mask, and the second one's going to obviously be the text. Okay, so the text now, we're going to write some text briefly in the middle of the page. Okay, change the color, change the effects, or anything you want to. So I'm going to call this text example of how of masking. Just call it that. Okay, so just arrange it appropriately. So change the size if you need to. Oops, too big. Okay, so just fill that up so it fits the whole of the screen. Move it central if I need to, just move it central. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, then I'm going to go to frame, let's just go to frame 110, going to push F6. Okay, so this text at this moment, sorry, F6, so F6 to insert a keyframe. So this text is what's going to stay on the stage throughout this masking animation. Okay, and for the mask now, what we're going to do, lock the text file so you don't accidentally change the text. I'm going to go to the mask. Okay, you're going to get a circle, sorry, a shape. So we're going to look for a round oval tool. Okay, make sure you've selected transparent because you don't want a line, because when you move the shape, the outlining of the circle or the oval will remain where you left it. It won't move with the actual circle. So remove the outlining, pick any color you wish. You don't really, it doesn't matter what color you've got. Okay, for your mask, what you're going to do is create a nice circle here in the top left hand corner. Okay, that's it. You don't, now that you created the circle, okay, it doesn't matter if it's covering the text, that's fine. It's okay, you wanted to do that. Okay, so once you've done that, now what you're going to do is go every 10 frames, you're going to press F6. So you're going to insert a keyframe every 10 frames all the way to the end. Oops. Okay, now what you need to do, it's there as well. So now, as you can see, if we were just to run it, it's not going to do anything because that circle is just going to remain in the same place throughout. Okay, so that's all it does. So what you want to do now is ignore the first frame. On the 10th frame onwards, what you're going to do is get that circle and move it somewhere else on the stage. It doesn't matter if it's going off, it doesn't matter if it's not covering any of the letters, that's fine. Just move it anywhere else on the stage. Do that for every 10 frames. Just move that circle into different locations throughout your animation. Move up there, move that one there. Okay, I'll just leave this one here. Do that. Move it back here. Yes, over there. And over there. And finally into the middle. Okay. So now that once you've done that, if you run it now, obviously the circle should move into different locations. Okay, that's fine. As you can see, it's moving into different locations. That's fine. What you need to do now, what we haven't done, is to tween it. So just highlight all of those, all the frames from 1 to 110, right click, create classic tween, and as you can see, that puts a classic tween on between each of them. Now if you look at it, run it, as you can see, that ball now moves. So masking isn't complete there. What you now need to do is create the mask. So go on if you go into the mask layer, you right click it, and there should be an option there that says mask. What you do is click on that mask. Now if you look at it, your animation has mask, as it says the mask there, and it's got the text that's hidden inside the mask. If you run it now, okay, now you can see your circle that you had is now moving. Okay, so it's just showing part of the text which is behind the mask. Okay, so that's the first part done. So we've done, this is simple basic masking. However, to create something like the spotlight effect, so if we look back at our example, okay, we've got a yellow spotlight and we've got a black background. So what we need to work out is, firstly, how do I get that black background? Okay, if we look at our animation here, at the moment, our mask, even our circle that we created, the mask for the mask, was blue. However, the actual background has gone white. So this tells us the background, the stage of your animation also needs to be white. Sorry, it needs to be black. So if we remove the mask now, just to remove it, go to the stage, change the color to black. Okay, put the mask back onto that now. And if you run it now, okay, as you can see, it's worked successfully, because now you've got the black background that you need to create the spotlight effect. Okay, the only thing missing now is the yellow torch, sorry, the yellow spotlight. Okay, the way we do that is, what you're going to do is you're going to insert a new layer. Okay, and you're going to make, what you're going to do is call this yellow background. Okay, so before I tell you why we're doing this, before we do this, I'm just going to tell you why we do it. If you notice, if you look at the text, example of mask, okay, behind that text is black. So this tells us that whatever the background is of the stage, okay, not the actual stage color, but the background. So we need to put some kind of background in the back, and whatever color that background is what color this spotlight will be. So to get a yellow spotlight, we're going to have to insert a yellow background. So how we do that is you use your rectangle tool, go to color palette, change it to yellow. All you do is just draw that rectangle across the back. Okay, we know our state. Okay, let's make the size appropriate. So we know that the size of our stage is 800 by 600. Okay, the y-axis, to make sure that we're in the right location, we can press 0 and 0. So basically this is where this rectangle starts. So it will start at this point, which is 0 on the x-axis and 0 on the y-axis. So now that we've done that, okay, so we've done that. Now we've got the yellow background. Okay, just to let you know, sometimes you may get the error where when you insert the new layer, your layer will look like this, because it's not within the actual mask. So you need to make sure this layer is within the mask for this to work. So you need to move it, just like drag it into that mask. So now if you look at it at the start, it's changed to that mask type icon. Okay, now if we run this, okay, we've done it now simply. There we go, we've got that spotlight effect where now we've got the yellow spotlight with the black background, it's in the dark. Okay, so what we're gonna do now, the only thing missing now is the sound. Actually, no, the sound is not missing because we forgot the major part, which is, which is actually has to open up. So it has to show me what's in the actual mask. Okay, so if we look back at our example, if you look at it, it does the little drum roll. Before we do the sound, look at the drum roll. Right at the end, what it does, it opens up, and the background, if you look at it, turns white. So what we're going to do that is we're going to go to the point. Okay, as you know, whatever as we've worked out when we do this masking, this round circle, whatever that circle is on will be displayed. That is what part of the text will be displayed. So what we need to work out how to do is if we go to the last frame, okay, on this frame, this circle should open up as big as possible. So we go, oops, it's locked, cannot do that. Okay, so this circle here, we need to make that as wide as possible. Because now if we test it out, so test it out now. Hopefully when it gets to frame number 100 it should open up. Excellent, and it's done that. Okay, so now it's opened up a frame 100. So now we've done that. What we need to do is the little pause that we usually have at the end. So add 15 frames at the end because we want it to stay like that. So 15, 15, 15. Remove frame. Sorry, we'll remove the screen. We don't need that there. So now if we run it, it will stay. It will open the mask, show what's, reveal the text, and then just stay in that place. Okay, there we are. Excellent. Okay, another thing, we want that background to now turn white. So once it's opened up and we've seen what text it is, we need to have a white background. So what you need to do is where this yellow background is, we're going to insert a keyframe. Okay, let's just hide the mask for now because okay, just hide that, lock those. Okay, this background needs to turn to white. So what we're going to do is click on the background, simply just change the color to white. Okay, so now it changes to white. If we now unclear that, if we run the animation now, hopefully the point where it reveals the text, the background should go white. So we've got an example, yeah. Okay, so that's done there. Okay, however, if you notice, it actually, you can see it opens up, it's still yellow, and then once it's completely opened up, it turns white. So you want that little smooth action where if we look back at the example, okay, that smooth action where it quickly changes from yellow to white and you don't even realize. See that? So what we're going to do is trying to create that smooth effect where as soon as it opens up it turns white and not opens up, reveals the text completely and then turns white. Okay, to do that, what you need to do is go, let me just hide these again. Okay, where this, okay, what we need to do is insert a keyframe there, F6. Okay, white is where it turns here. Okay, so at this point is when it, oh, okay, sorry, put it in the wrong place. Okay, so the point where it opens up the mask, so mask is here, okay, and it opens up to there. Okay, so at this point, at frame 100 is really where we want to have it turn white. Okay, is that okay? So if we check back our example, okay, it turn, as soon as just before it starts to open up is when it, the back turns white. So at frame 100, what we're going to do is go on our background, insert keyframe there. Okay, and we're going to change this to white here. So now it's turned white at frame 100. If we run that now, see, can you see that instantly? As soon as it opens up, it's already turned white. It reveals itself. Okay, so that's that part done. Now the final thing we've got to do is firstly we need to remove unnecessary keyframes. So remove that keyframe. Oops. Sorry, clear that keyframe, not remove it. Clear keyframe, right click, clear keyframe, right click, clear keyframe. Okay. Okay, now the final thing what we're going to do is input the sound. I've already found a sound which I got from, as we have been looking at throughout this unit, is soundeffects.com, flashkit.com, and then the sound effects section where we can find different sounds that we can use in our Flash animations. So firstly we're going to import the sound, so I'm just going to locate my sound. Okay, let me just see where it is. Okay, so mine is called a drum roll. I'm going to insert that. Okay, so what I want the drum roll to start right from the beginning. So right from the start of my animation, I'm going to put it on the text. Okay, I'm going to go to sound, drum roll. That's it. Now what I'm going to do is run it. So hopefully the sound should work. Okay, excellent. So you got a drum roll effect. Okay. Okay. However, what we've noticed right at the end, the end of the drum roll where it reveals the text, the timing is actually incorrect at the moment, and it's not really timed to perfection. So what we're going to have to do is go back to our we're going to go back to our timeline, and what we really need to do is just add some extra frames. So we're going to go here, we're going to insert frames. Okay, frame 70, you're going to push F6. So all you have to do is just keep planning. It's trial and error. So keep inserting a frame. So I'm going to add, I've added how much there? So I've added 10 frames. So I'm going to add another 10. Let me just add another 10. Insert frame. Okay, so once again, add another 10 frame, keyframe. So what we're going to do is make sure now this needs to be changed. So at frame 50 is there, frame 60 there, that's fine. Frame 70, okay, move that. Frame 80. Okay, so now that what we've done was added a few more added more frames to extend our animation so that drum roll is timed to perfection. Make sure you increase the frames in your text as well. So we added about 20 insert frames there. So keep adding frames. F5 to shortcut to add frames. So keep adding frames until it's the same length as your animation. I've made a mistake here. What I should have done is, this is where the background turns to white. So this needs to be moved now. Okay, at the moment it's frame 100, so it's frame 120. That's because that's when it opens up white background. Okay, we also need to add the new frames here as well. So F5 all the way till the end. So now if we test it out. Okay, we've added a bit to. Okay, if you've seen it from that, we've added too much frames, so we actually need to remove one of these. Okay, so we're just gonna remove that text. So like I said, it's trial and error, guys. So it's something you just have to work on until you get it right. So remove that and remove another set of 10 frames here. Let's just do that for now. Okay, let's test it out now. So remove those frames. Okay, it's kind of working there, it's nearly there. So what you need to do is you have to keep trying and trying until you get that correct. So trial and error, add a few frames, remove a few frames until you get it perfect. So once you've got it perfect, it will work something like this, where we've got the drum roll, and as soon as it reveals the text in the background, the timing of it. Okay, so guys, thanks for watching. This has been a tutorial on masking and how good techniques that you can use and how you can use it in animations, like creating the spotlight effect, which I've shown you how to do today.